Spot, chance for people to take the roughly 1 hour drive, maybe 50 minutes from Allstate Arena on I-90, the Northwest Tollway, and take that up north. That's the Jane Addams, by the way. And a chance to see the Rush against two teams they've already defeated on the road. Again, they will be playing the Utah Blaze on Saturday, June 8th. That's 3 weeks from tonight. And then 1 month from tonight exactly, June 15th, 4 weeks from tonight, the San Antonio Talons will be at Rockford as well. And those are 7 o'clock kickoffs for the Rush. After that, 3 of the last 5 will be on the road at Tampa Bay on June 22nd, at Philadelphia July 6th, and at Arizona against these same Rattlers on July 19th. Scheduled home games on July 13th with Cleveland, and then on July 27th with San Jose. Those are both 7 o'clock kickoffs. Rod Windsor again is deep now for Arizona. Here's the kickoff, and this is a much better one heading toward the rebound net by Jose. And Windsor fields it at the back of the end zone, tries to bring it out, turns the corner, and he will be brought down close to the 5-yard line. Good coverage that time. First man down there for Chicago was Josh Pleasant. Slowed him down, and the omnipresent Kelvin Morris brought him down. And there was apparently a penalty on the touchdown, and so it's moved half the distance to the goal, and Arizona's going to start out at their own 2. Davila, who threw a 25-yard TD pass to Reed. Now he's got Windsor in motion. Pass comes to Windsor, and he broke a tackle. He's out across the 10, the 20, and crosses midfield into rush territory. That was a clear missed tackle that time at the start of that play. Anthony Hoke was there, but couldn't bring him down, had him by the shirt, and now Hoke is coming off, I believe. Indeed he is. Very quickly after that play, they're going to say that Windsor was down at his 23, so it's 1st and 10. Davila back, throws. He got the pass away before he was about to be creamed. Inside the 15-yard line, there's a flag on the play, and it's brought all the way down close to the 3-yard line. Odie Armstrong is the fullback, and that was the runner, but this one's going to be called back. Holding will be called here against the Rattlers. So that long play wiped out, and what happened was Davila was about to be nailed, and he stepped up and got the pass off. So that's going to turn into a 2-yard gain after the penalty. And they get the down over again. It'll be 1st and 8 for Arizona, right on the midfield stripe. It was from there that Davila hit Reed for their touchdown. It's a 7-7 score, 7:13 to go first quarter. Reed is wide to the left. High motion man is going to be Harvey. Now, they come out of the huddle and they reset the play clock. Kerry Reed is in the slot to the left. He caught their touchdown before. Now, the rush offside again. 3 or 4 players pass into the end zone, and it's broken up, deflected, and incomplete. Josh Pleasant may have gotten a hand on it, but there were 3 rush players came across the line, and it will be offside Chicago. And so the ball will be moved down to the 20-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 3. They're trying to decide when to move the ball, but if it's a 5-yard penalty, you move it to the 20 and let's go. Now they're making it a 10-yard penalty. They're moving it all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that'll be a first. Wait a minute. Now they don't know what they're doing. Now they're moving it back to the 20. It was the head linesman, Neil Bruner, who moved it down to the 15. There's no way an offside like that, especially not in the bonus, is going to be 10 yards. Well, the Rattlers have themselves pretty much house money here. They've got a 1st and 3. Davila was over talking to the assistant head coach, Kanai Cowhey. On 1st down, Davila back throwing. He's got a man open, but he overshoots Rod Windsor. Threw it right off the sideboard. No big deal for them. It'll be 2nd down and 3 from the Rush 20. Arizona scored off the first drive of the game. They went 30 yards on 2 plays, 5-yard penalty and a 25-yard touchdown pass down to Reed. The Rush answered after a great kickoff return by Reggie Gray, drone a 30-yard TD pass to Gray. Here's a handoff now, and it's going to go for 1st down yardage. The big fullback, Odie Armstrong, he broke 2 tackles, crashed inside the Rush 15, and they will move the chains. And so, it will be 1st and 10 for Arizona right there at the 15-yard line. Now they break the huddle and sent wide toward the right. 1st down is Reed. Now he comes in motion, backing up Davila. He stops, fires over everybody's head. There was contact, but since that was an uncatchable pass, and that's the first time all year I saw them call it uncatchable. And it was. We've seen pass interference called on plays like that, but this was the correct call. The correct call was uncatchable. It was airmailed over everybody's head. And so, it's going to be a 2nd and 10 situation for the Rattlers. 4:23 to go first quarter, 7-7 our score. Windsor high motion man. Davila straight back again. Stops, fires. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Windsor will walk into the end zone. Pleasant shoved him, but too late. Touchdown Arizona. Nobody picked up Windsor. Pleasant, I don't know if he blew the coverage or not. He was the closest man to him. So the Rattlers are back in front. And they're going to have to keep matching these guys, it would appear. Point after touchdown attempt coming up here by Lindholm. Trying to make this a 7-point game again. Kind of a wobbly snap, but the kick is up and still right down the middle. 3 minutes and 31 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. Arizona back in front. It's the Rattlers 14, the Rush 7. This is Chicago Rush football on Arena Rush online radio. If you missed it yesterday, here's the results from arena football action. And Rush got a little bit of help, but not totally. On Friday night, Spokane defeated New Orleans, a relatively close game, surprisingly close game, 65-54. Last night, Utah defeated Iowa 43-34, so that certainly helps the Rush. But San Antonio, other games, it was Tampa Bay pounding Pittsburgh 62-34. San Jose defeated Jacksonville 57-36. And Philadelphia beat Orlando 61-51. Those were the scores yesterday and Friday. This being a Sunday, this is, of course, the only game of the day. All right, now Rodney Wright deep for the Rush. And here's the kickoff by Lindholm. It's high. Boy, it almost went into the rafters. Wright has it, and out he comes. He gets the screen. He's got an opening. 15, 20. He's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Rush. He's done it twice now in as many weeks. Rodney Wright went the distance and is credited with a 57-yard kickoff return, and they are a PAT away from tying this game up. He hit a big seam that time. He got through it, got the one block he needed, and bye-bye. Let's see what Jose Martinez can do here with Luke Drone holding. That got the crowd going. Here's the kick on its way. We're tied. Now with 2:47 left to go here in the first quarter of play. A lot of action already. The score is the Rush 14 and Arizona 14. Again, this is Rush Arena Online Radio. The Rush have now returned 2 kickoffs for TDs this season. Both have been by Rodney Wright in consecutive weeks because he had a 54-yarder in Cleveland last week. And when he returned his, it looked like the Rush were going to really be in great shape, too. That kickoff return gave the Rush the lead at halftime, 27-20. And they received the second half kickoff. Unfortunately, Southwick got nailed for a safety in the end zone, and that safety, it didn't really determine the outcome of the game because they lost by 3 on the game-winning field goal. If you didn't have that safety, they'd have been up by 2, and that field goal would have beat them by 1. But you never know. That game-winning field goal would have come with them trailing by Petrie rather than in a tie. Maybe Petrie would have felt a little more pressure. Here's the kickoff now. Windsor, actually, it's going to be Harvey deep this time, and it goes over the top and out of play by Martinez, so it'll be a touchback, and the Rattlers will start at their own 5-yard line. And so, actually, they're moving the ball all the way out to the 20. What's this all about? Wise brought to the 20 when it was kicked over the top there. It didn't go out of bounds. But Arizona's going to start out with great field position. Both teams have had good field position to start drives here. Davila has hit Reed from 25 yards and Windsor from 15. Wide to the right will go Reed. To the left is Windsor. Jared Perry's in the slot. Davila straight back, has time. Steps up, throws over the middle, and it is completed. And holding onto the football was Windsor, and he's put it to the sideboard by Samaj Moody inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Once again, Windsor wide open. They've had some wide open receivers. And Davila, except when he's thrown it away a couple of times, one he airmailed one over everybody's head in the end zone, and another time threw one toward the end zone, and it was actually broken up. Of course, they had a penalty on the play anyway for holding. First and goal to go, Arizona. Perry to the right. To the left is Windsor. High motion man is Reed. Davila throws, touchdown to Reed. He got behind Moody. And this just looks too easy for them right now. Reed has caught 2 TD passes. So it's going to be a PAT try here for Lindholm. Less than a minute and a half to go here in quarter number 1. And tons of scoring already. And again, holding on the play, Jason Marietta. He's their backup QB. Good snap, place down kick on its way is perfect. We have 63 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Haven't seen any sustained drives here, have we? Rattlers back in front. They are just moving through the Rush like tissue paper here early. They lead at 21-14. Lindholm has hit on both of his point after touchdown tries. And he will be getting ready to kick things off either to Perry, I should say to Gray, or to Wright. Both have had good kickoff returns so far. Reggie Gray got the ball close to midfield on his first kickoff return. And we just a moment ago saw Rodney Wright go 57 yards on the kickoff that he got. And now Reggie Gray will go back there. So they're alternating, and they both have been effective so far. Ball's teed up by Lindholm. Like we said, we still have 1:03 left to go here in the opening quarter of play. Also back there for the rush is Samaj Moody. Or check that, here's the kickoff. It's fielded by Reggie, and out he comes. Gets a screen, up the middle, 15, got it out to the 19-yard line. Jorah Calvin was the other man deep there. But Reggie Gray looked like he might bust through it himself, but he got it out to the 14, and it'll be 1st and 10 rush. The second time they have had the ball offensively in the game. The other time, of course, the kickoff return by Wright for a touchdown. And we're into the final 50 seconds of the opening quarter here at Allstate Arena. Huddle is broken, and wide to the right side comes Jenkins with Wright in the slot, and Gray will be the high motion man. Payne is the setback. On first down, Drone throws a screen. It's caught by Wright. He gets across midfield into Arizona territory down to the 23, a pickup of about 7 or 8, depending where they spot the ball. Looks like it's going to be down to the 23-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 2. A little screen trying to loosen things up a little bit, and that was very successful. Now Luke Drone over, waiting to get the call as they have not started the play clock yet. They're going to stop everything. 17 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. And they're going to start the clock, and the rush will probably just let it run out. They're not going to try to beat the all zeros on the clock. So the exchange ends. The officials will move the ball exactly 4 yards from one 23-yard line to the other. In other words, from the east 23 to the west 23. And at the end of one quarter of play here at Allstate Arena, it's the Arizona Rattlers 21, the Chicago Rush 14. Second quarter play coming up as the Rush will put it in play from their own 23 here on Rush Online Radio. Again next week, Rush will be in New Orleans taking on the Voodoo. New Orleans Voodoo and the Rush will play at, I don't want to say historic. It's been around since pretty much the early 70s, since about 1974, 73, but the Louisiana Superdome. I think it's called the Mercedes-Benz Superdome now, but as far as we're concerned, it's a Superdome, and that's that. But that's where that game will be played next week, and will be on at 6:50 from New Orleans with the Bob McMillan pregame chat that we'll have, and then have the contest itself. Right now, having a little race down there on the field. We'll take a look at the standings as they are coming into this game here today. In the Central Division, the Rush and San Antonio are both 4 and 4. Iowa fell to 4 and 5 with their loss yesterday. Arizona is 7 and 1, one game ahead of San Jose, which is 6 and 2. Spokane 6 and 3, and Utah 4 and 4. New Orleans, a team we're going to see next week, is 1 and 7. Of course, Cleveland was 1 and 6, or 1 and 5 going into last week's game, and they got the victory over the Rush. So you can never take anything for granted, that's for sure. Here is long pass by Drone. He's looking for Reggie in the end zone. He caught it and then smashed into the backboard. The ball came loose. Let's see if he's okay. He went down hard. He is getting up. Boy, that was a great pass. He ran out of real estate. Over to look at him over there was Virgil Gray. No relation between the two. Reggie's okay. He's going to stay in. Boy, he hit that board hard. Drone with that one. Actually, I can't read it because the printer is not giving us the passing statistics. And now a timeout is going to be taken here by the Chicago Rush. Yeah, they're trying to get it done indeed. At this point so far, great kick return coverage or kick return action for the Rush. Reggie Gray, 2 for 54 yards, and Rodney Wright, 1 for 57 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if they took that time out to give Reggie Gray an extra minute to catch his breath or what. Boy, he went pounding into that backboard trying to make the catch, and he had it, but the board pretty much knocked the ball away from him. Arizona has not even had a third down conversion attempt yet. The Rush have had one, and they completed it for the touchdown to Reggie Gray of 30 yards early in the game. And other than that, we can tell you that in the Eastern Conference, or the American Conference as they call it, Philadelphia at 4-4 is in first place by 2 games in the weak Eastern Conference, Eastern Division. Pittsburgh is 2-6. Cleveland also 2-6. Here we go. It'll be 3rd and about 2 for the Rush. It's a 4-down situation. You can bet on that. Drone back, looking, going deep, looking for Jenkins. He has him back there, but he can't get his hands on the ball. Just out of his reach. Slightly overthrew him. And unable to make the reception was Jared Jenkins. Now it'll be 4th down, the first 4th down try of this game. And so they need to pick up 2. They don't want to allow Arizona to get a quick stop here. We're 1:15 into the second quarter. The Rattlers lead 21-14. And they just started the play clock. In fact, the play clock is kind of messed up. They started it almost at 40, but it's running. Reggie Gray will be high motion man, right to the right, and Jenkins to the left. Payne is the setback. Backing up Drone, stops, throws over the middle. Got it through to Reggie, inside the 10, down to about the 5. Ball's knocked away from him, but the play was already whistled dead, and it will be a 1st and goal to go for the Rush, so they have converted 1 of 2 third downs, and the only 4th down try, it'll be 1st and goal to go Rush at the Arizona 5-yard line. In fact, just inside the 5. And the chant of move those chains. In the South Division, Jacksonville and Tampa Bay are 6-3, Orlando 2-6, and New Orleans is 1-7. Here we go, 1st and goal, Rush from inside the 5. Drone back, steps up, scrambling right, has it, throws it, off the rebound net, incomplete. That was dangerous. It could have been caught, but it also could have been picked off. That was very close to Akeith Brown of Arizona. He was trying to throw it away, but it hit that rebound net. And remember, it's in play. Again, in the past 8 weeks, that would have been a sack. Trust me. It was a great opportunity here for Drone to show his quickness. He avoided the sack, got the pass off. It will be 2nd and goal to go Rush at the Arizona 4. Wright is the high motion man on this play. Backing up Luke. Stops, throws. Jenkins can't control it. It's off his fingertips. Tried to leap up and grab it, but it's a little high. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal to go at the Rattlers 4-yard line. July 13th when the Rush hosts the Cleveland Gladiators, and that's a big-time payback game because they've lost to them the last 3 years all in Cleveland. It's going to be Can night here at Allstate Arena. Better hurry. The play clock's down to 7 as they broke the middle. Jenkins is to the right. High motion man Reggie Gray. 3 seconds. 2. one. They get the play off. Lucas to the right, lobbing into the end zone. Incomplete. In fact, it's intercepted. Virgil Gray. He's across his own 10, still going, and brought down at about the 12. Luke lobbed it up there, and it was hanging up there way too long, and Virgil Gray, the former Mizzou Tiger, he was throwing for Gray, but he got it to the wrong Gray. And Arizona gets a stop, and now with a 7-point lead, they take over 1st and 10 at their own 14, putting pressure on the rush to get a stop of their own here. And so far, that hasn't come close to happening. Arizona's gone through them easily the first 3 possessions. So they got the pick, and they got possession at their own 14-yard line. They started out at their own 2 possessions ago, and ultimately they got out of it, and Davila hit Windsor from 15. The other 2 times they've had the ball, he's hit Reed from 25 and then from 8. 10:47 and ticking now here for the first half. Wide to the left on first down is going to be Kerry Reed. To the right is Rod Windsor. And Harvey is the high motion man. Backing up Davila. Flag on the play. The rush might have been offside again. Pass over the middle is complete to Harvey for a first down and then some. He's down to the rush 17-yard line before the tackle was made by Josh Pleasant. But rush have been offside twice, and this could be a 3rd time. Well, it will be called the legal man in motion. It will be declined by the Rattlers because instead of taking that one, they're going to move the ball all the way down to the rush 17. And again, the receivers have been absolutely wide open here. Did have one good pass breakup earlier by Samaj Moody, which wouldn't have mattered because holding had been called on the Rattlers. Windsor to the right. In the slot to the right is Reed. Harvey, the high motion man. Davila back. Stops. Throwing into the end zone. Easy, wide open. Touchdown pass. A 17-yarder to Trevon Harvey. So 3 different receivers have got TD passes. And they've got the PAT attempt coming up. A 2-possession lead now for the first time for Arizona. They've had 4 possessions, and Davila has scored or has completed 4 touchdown passes. Riata, the backup QB, will be holding. High snap, but he gets it down, and the kick is still right down the middle. 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to go opening half. That pick 2 plays later turns into a score, and it's now the Rattlers 28, the Rush 14. To try to pick this crowd up a bit, the Rush Adrenaline Dancers are out there to perform. Lindholm is 4 for 4 on his PAT attempts. Of course, Jose Martinez has completed both of his. So Luke Drone in his first game back trying to get loosened here. They get back into the middle of things. He did throw a gorgeous 30-yard touchdown pass to Reggie Gray. But he's been a little off on a few of his other passes. We'll see what happens here on what will be possession number 3. Rush Adrenaline Dancers are done. And we're waiting now for the 2 teams to come back on for the kickoff try here. Be coming up momentarily. And this time it will be Rodney Wright back there. His other kickoff return resulted in a touchdown. We'll see what Lindholm does this time. Also back there is Jorah Calvin. High kickoff. It's headed toward the rebound bracket, but Wright brings it out of there. Gets a block, comes to the left side, comes up the middle, 15, 20, still going near the 25 and into Arizona territory. And there's a late flag. We might have had an unnecessary roughness call against the Rattlers. Wright got the ball down to the 22-yard line, and that was a very late handkerchief that was tossed in there. And it is personal foul Arizona. So that's going to move the ball further into Rattlers territory. The kickoff returns have been terrific here so far tonight, both by Wright and by Reggie Gray. And the ball is going to be moved all the way down to the 12-yard line of Arizona. 9:03 to go first half. Rush with great field position. They have to score here. The problem is they're now down by 2 touchdowns and 2 PATs. It's a 28-14 Arizona lead. Jenkins goes to the right with Gray in the slot. High motion man is going to be Rodney Wright. Going from left to right. Backing up drone, throws. It goes to Gray. Gets inside the 10. Still going. 5. Touchdown Rush. He turned that little screen pass into a 12-yard touchdown reception. So big play. Reggie Gray has caught 2 against Arizona so far here this afternoon. One was a bomb. This one was off a screen. And to try to get them back to within 7 points will be Jose Martinez. Well, Luke Drone and Reggie Gray have connected many a times before. The last touchdown pass, or the last pass he had thrown as a Rush player last year, was also a TD. High snap, place down kick by Martinez is right through. Good job that time by Luke to get the ball down, and Jose put it through. 7:55 to go first half. The defense will see what they can do here, as Arizona has had their lead trimmed from 28-14 to 28-21. As I was just about to say, the last time that Luke Drone threw a pass was last year in the season finale in Cleveland, and it was a long touchdown bomb to Reggie Gray that tied the game up with under 10 seconds to play. Then on the final play of the game, the Gladiators got a touchdown pass off the rebound nets and won the game as time expired. And they won the game a week ago over the Rush in Cleveland as time expired. Well, Cleveland will make their first visit here in a few years on July 13th. 7 o'clock kickoff, and we'll see what happens there. Now a little dancing contest going on in the center of the field with Bruiser the dog out there as well. And Bruiser the dog wears number 87. That, of course, was the year arena football started, 1987, and the Chicago Bruisers played their first of 3 seasons right here in this building in 1987. Then they had a historical 1988 campaign. They won the regular season Arena Football Championship and eventually got to the Arena Bowl here, but lost to the Detroit Drive. And the not very likable Tim Markham, their coach. He's a hell of a coach, but not the most likable guy on the planet. He was the head coach of Tampa Bay until a couple of years ago. Now he's an assistant in Orlando. So kicking off will be Jose Martinez. Trandon Harvey will be the deep man. He's the only one deep there. They are expecting they're up shallow, expecting a possible onside kick. And it is an onside kick try, and it's batted out of bounds. It was just knocked into the seats by Kerry Reed. So it fails, and it's going to give Arizona phenomenal field position here to start this game off, or start this drive. They'll have the ball at the Rush 14. They expected it. They knew it was coming. It was coming, and Jose got it deep enough, but a little too deep. You got to get it 10 yards. He did. He got it 14, and Harvey was right there and batted it away. So Davila has his team lined up. Jared Perry is the high motion man on this first down. Davila back, stops, throws. Perry out of his reach, incomplete. He was free that time trying to outrun former teammate Jorick Calvin. But that pass was non-grabbable for Jared Perry. Former Mizzou Tiger, second-year man. Like we said, he played with the Rush a year ago. Now, Perry will be high motion man as Windsor goes wide to the right. And Reed is in the slot. Davila fires a quickie. Oh, almost intercepted. That would have been a pick six for Jorick Calvin. It was just out of his reach. He had that play perfectly measured. He was gone if he grabs that ball. It will now be a 3rd and 10 for Arizona at the Rush 14. Again, it was intended for Jared Perry. And Jorick knew what was coming. Crowd making lots of noise. Windsor to the right. Perry is in the slot to the right. Harvey, the high motion man, backing up Davila. Stops, throws over everybody's head, but that's going to be pass interference against Moody. Moody collided that time with Reed. And Reed did a good job of selling it. He did a little backpedal that time, but he did make contact. And so they're going to get a fresh set of downs. You get them to a 3rd down and 10, and now you give them a 1st and goal situation inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. Davila in the huddle. We have 6:14 and ticking for the first half, 28-21 Arizona, and they're threatening to add to it here. Davila, straight back, pressured, throws incomplete as he was pressured big time. In on was Derek Walker, the former Fighting Illini star at 6'4", 290. And he was in on, if Davila doesn't throw that ball away, he would have met Tommy Turf that time. But he got rid of it, and he was out of the pocket, so he was able to just throw it away. It will now be a 2nd goal to go, Rattlers. Reed goes to the left, Windsor to the right. Perry's now in the slot to the right. Here is a little pitch back now, and it's going to go absolutely nowhere to Reed. Reed was surrounded and brought down by Pleasant. And also in on the tackle for the Rush was Tyus Jackson, the former Memphis Tiger. So they're going to lose some yardage, and the ball's back to the 7. I should say to the 11. Now they're moving it back in. It was spotted at the 11, then moved back to the 6. So they actually gained about a yard on the play. Here's another 3rd down try. They got the pass interference that bailed them out last time. Windsor to the left. He will be high motion man. In fact, Perry is wide left, and Reed is to the right. They have not started the play clock yet. Bob McMillan is out there complaining about where the ball should be spotted, and he just waved his hands in disgust at the officials. Now they start the play clock. The running back is Armstrong. Boy, that was close to offensive offside. Here's a pass, and it's batted away and broken up beautifully by Samaj Moody. That was intended for Kerry Reed. It'll be 4th down, and they'll go for it. 4th and goal at the Rush 6 for the Rattlers. They lead at 28-21. Davila into his huddle. He still has 15 on the play clock. They now break it. Windsor to the left, Perry in the slot to the left. Reed will be the high motion man. 4th and goal. Davila back, stopped, looking, throwing, caught, touchdown. He managed to get it to Jared Perry, who just burned his former team on 4th down, a 7-yard touchdown pass. So they're up 2 possessions again. That wasn't exactly a laser beam like some of the others, but it still was right on the money, and nobody could bat it away. So they're 5 for 5. Davila with 5 TD passes. And once again, Lindholm for the PAT try here. Perfect snap. Kick is right down the middle. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the first half, and it's now Arizona 35 and the Rush 21. Stay with us. Kickoff coming up as the Rush will put it in play here on Rush Online Radio. As we continue here, a week from tonight, or actually this coming Saturday night, will be at the Superdome, place that the Bears won Super Bowl 20 on January 26, 1986. And the Rush will take on the New Orleans Voodoo, a 7 o'clock kickoff, and we'll have Bob McMillan's pregame chat at 6:50. Both Chicago and New Orleans time. And then in a couple of weeks on Saturday night, June 1st, we will be in Orlando. The Rush will take on the Orlando Predators. 6:20 pregame on that one, right here on Rush Arena Football. And we'll let you know online if any of these are going to be on Rush TV. Reggie Gray is going to be the deep man for the Rush. There's nobody shallow. Everybody is up close. If that ball hits the rebound brackets, got to be careful, as we have seen all season. The run up by Lindholm, and he's kicking it high and deep, and it is off the rebound net, and Reggie fell down, picks it up, brings it out, tries to break away, gives ground backwards. He's close to the 5 and dragged down hard there at the 5-yard line. He had trouble control of the ball, but he was able to get it, and his namesake, Virgil Gray, who had that key interception, which is a real key play in this game so far, he made the tackle on Reggie Gray. So they'll have their worst field position of the afternoon so far, starting out at their own 5-yard line. Let's see what Luke can do here. Luke Drone has thrown 2 touchdown passes to Reggie Gray, a 12-yarder on a little screen, and a 30-yard bomb, which was the first one. High motion man is going to be right. On first down, Drone back. His pass is batted right back into his face and out of the end zone. They lead the league in breakups. They had 7 PBUs last week. That was Entaj Hawthorne, who stuck those huge hands up there. Hawthorne, not that tall. He is 6 feet, 340. But he got those hands in the air and broke it up. It'll be 2nd and 10. Jenkins to the left. Reggie Gray will be the high motion man, and wide to the right is Wright. Backing up Drone again, scrambling. Now he throws to nobody. He had to throw it into the first row because he had heavy pressure coming his way, and he didn't have that much room toward the back of the end zone, so he had to get rid of it. Now it will be 3rd and 10 for the Rush. And need to get out of this hole. The only 4th down try, they succeeded before Drone eventually found Reggie Gray on a 12-yard touchdown pass. Wide to the left now is Jenkins. Reggie Gray, high motion man. Backing up Drone in the end zone. Steps up, stops, fires over the middle, and incomplete. He tried to get it to Jenkins. It was off his fingertips. Now it's going to be 4th and 10. Well, that was an easy first down if Jarrett could have gotten his hands on it and brought it in. Now, let's see, we're getting a timeout here. They brought the Rush Adrenaline Dancers into the end zone. This is going to be a very important 4th down situation, and timeout was called, but it was an official's timeout. Now, they're not supposed to be on the field, but the Adrenaline Dancers and Bruiser the Dog are out there, so whatever this timeout is, wasn't called by Arizona. Oh, we're down to 1 minute left. Duh! That's why the adrenaline rush dancers are out. Okay. So now, with 1 minute to go, we're on the 1 minute timing. And the Rush need to get out to their own 15. They need 10 yards to keep possession of the football here. Arizona with a 35-21 lead. They've scored every time they've had the ball so far. 5 times, 5 touchdown passes by Davila, including one a moment ago to Jared Perry on a 4th down from the Rush 7. All right, this is a critical 4th down play. You don't want to turn this ball over to these guys here in your own, inside your own 5-yard line. Backing up, Drone on 4th down in the end zone. Stops. He's throwing deep, looking for Reggie. He's got him. He's got it. He is down to about the 11-yard line of Arizona. And we have a player slow getting up for the Rush at the goal line back there. Looks like it's Brian McAnally. And he is slow getting up, but on 4th down, the Rush are 2 for 2 in this game. And they're down to the Arizona 11. That was a great pass right on the money by Drone to Reggie. He caught it. He might have scored, but he started to lose his footing. He regained it and got down to the 11. McAnally okay. But he has to go out for at least one play by rule. And we're down to 51 seconds left in the half. Luke Drone already has the play. They have not started the play clock yet. Once again, Tom McCabe, the referee. Umpire Jim Carr having a little chat. Bob McMillan, a couple of yards out on the field with his hands on his hips. I know he was not thrilled with the officiating last week in Cleveland, especially in the second half. Now Drone goes back over. And we still don't know what this discussion. I didn't see any flags on that previous play. Once again, Luke over there. And he's talking to offensive coordinator Burley about what they're going to do here. They're all back on the huddle, and now the play clock is started. Jenkins goes to the right. Rodney right, or he is in the slot to the right, and Reggie Gray high motion man. Drone pitches it behind him now. It goes to right. He's inside the 10 to the 5, and he slides down at the 1-yard line. He could have scored easily. But what he's trying to do here is run the clock, and there's no doubt that Arizona is going to take a timeout here, and they do. But that's only their first time out. Now, the thing that's dangerous about that was a touchdown. But they would have left them about 40-some-odd seconds, and they don't need that much time to score from anywhere on the field. But there's always the chance you don't score from this spot. Remember, they had a 4th and goal at the 1 last week in Cleveland, and they got stuffed on that play. Kelvin Morris, who's usually lights out in short yardage situations deep, he got stuffed for a loss of about 4 in Cleveland. So now it will be a 1st and goal to go situation for the Rush. And the ball at the 1 with Jenkins to the right. Gray is the high motion man. Let's see if they just give it to J.J. Payne this time. Drone, false start. That's why that's a dangerous situation, not taking the sure touchdown. A false start occurred that time. Colin Madison jumped, and now they're back out at the 6-yard line. Or was it Edwards? It looked like it was 79. It was Steve Edwards, 79. Okay. So, it will be a 1st and goal at the 6. Drone getting the call again from Coach Burley. And the play clock is it. Huddle broken. Jenkins to the right. Gray high motion. Right to the left. Payne the setback behind Luke Drone. Here's the snap. Pitch out goes to JJ. He's inside the 5. He picked up about a yard, and he just caused Arizona to use their second timeout. And it will be second and goal to go rush at the 4. What they can do here, they could pretty much force them to use their last timeout here and then run the clock down and try to score and leave them very little time on the clock. Remember, the Rush also get the ball to start the second half. So if they can get to within 7 going to the locker room, that would be a great accomplishment here. After they fell behind by 14 and had the turnover on that interception by Virgil Gray of the Rattlers. Wright, Jenkins, and Reggie Gray remain the 3 wide receivers with J.J. Payne the setback. Now they have to get positive yardage like J.J. Payne did a moment ago. Otherwise the clock will stop and Arizona would not have to use the timeout. But if they can get it inside the 4, they can force them to use the last timeout. High motion man is Wright. And Wright gets the ball. Moves inside and goes down to the 2. And timeout is called by the Rattlers with 33 seconds remaining. It will be third and goal to go at the 3. That wasn't a very friendly spot or generous spot. Looked like he had gotten to the 2. Now the question is, if you have a chance to score here, do you do it or do you go down and then gamble that you're going to score on 4th down? Because you can run the clock all the way down here, but then you're down to a 4th down situation. So Arizona out of timeouts. The Rush, for what it's worth, have 2. And they certainly want to run the clock down as much as they can here if they don't score here, which it doesn't look like they intend to. I mean, they had a touchdown about 5 plays ago, but downed it around the 100-yard line just to keep the clock running and start making Arizona take some timeouts here. Reggie Gray, high motion man. Backing up Drone. He looks like he's going to throw. It's tipped away, and that's not going to force the clock. Now they're going to leave Arizona time no matter what. 2 passes by Luke have been broken up. Now it's 4th down. They have to score here, or they're going to give the Rattlers the ball with a 14-point lead. They went back there trying a pass rather than run the ball to try to run the clock down, and that backfired. All right, Drone has to hurry. Play clock is at 12. He's back in the huddle now. This is it. Do or die, barring a penalty on this play. 5 on the play clock. High motion man is Wright. Backing up Drone. Stops. Looking, scrambling, looking. Throws it to the end zone. Incomplete. He had no chance there. He's trying to get it to Reggie Gray. He overthrew him, and now the Rattlers take over with 23 seconds left. They lead by 14, and they have 47 yards to go. And they could score one more time before halftime here. Well, that's twice now they were deep in Arizona territory and didn't score. Once a pass was intercepted, and this last one here, they turn it over on downs. Davila has Perry in motion, throws. Oh, they complete it, and stepping out of bounds, stopping the clock, and that's about the only way he can do it because they're out of timeouts, was Kerry Reed. 19 seconds left. They got way too much time. That strategy has worked so many times, and for a lot of teams in the rush have used it to their success, but it backfired here. Reed is to the left. Wide to the right, Windsor. Perry high motion man. Davila back again. Stops, throws. Windsor's got it and steps it out of bounds at midfield. 16 seconds to go. You could just see what's happening. Now they're moving up the chains. They're going to go no huddle. Davila, straight back. He falls down. Somebody needs to touch him. He is sacked all the way back at his 18-yard line. He was touched down by McNally, and they may run out of time. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. This will be the last play. There's flags all over the place. If it's on the rush for offside, they're going to get a free play. The clock says no time remaining. Well, that's it. It's going to be on Arizona, and so they do not score. The good news is they stopped the Rattlers here. The bad news is the rush had a chance to take a touchdown, and they gave it up to try to run the clock down, and frankly, it backfired. So at the end of the first half of play, here at Allstate Arena, the score, the Arizona Rattlers 35, the Chicago Rush 21. We'll recap the scoring and have stats and more for you in just a bit. You're tuned to Arena Rush Online Radio. More coming up here from Allstate Arena. Stay right with us here on Arena Rush Online Radio. The Martinez field goal with no time left. They ran the clock down and left the Blaze with no time left, and Martinez kicked a 23-yard field goal. The way they won the game at Iowa, of course, they ended up in overtime after Ratterink had completed a touchdown pass. They kicked a PAT. Kelvin Morris scored from the 2 for the Rush, and they got a 2-point conversion from Carson Kaufman to Kelvin Morris. And the Rush ended up winning that game by a score of 64-63. But that's where we are right now. Our score here at halftime is the Rattlers 35 and the Rush 21. Want to thank Marty Zivin, our engineer back in Hoffman Estates at Master Control, doing his usual awesome job here. And our crew here at Allstate Arena as well, doing a terrific job. Let's recap the scoring and what a first half, as it turned out, that was. By the way, we can tell you that the attendance here today on Armed Forces Day, just under 5,000. We got 4,859 here at Allstate Arena this afternoon. This game started out with Arizona receiving the opening kickoff, and what ended up happening was the Rush won the toss. They deferred, and didn't take long for Davila to hit Reed on a 25-yard touchdown pass. Lindholm converted. It was only a minute 40 into the game. But then the Rush answered. After a good kickoff return by Reggie Gray,
getting it out to his own 20. And then there was a penalty. The Rush got a 30-yard touchdown pass from Luke Drone to Reggie Gray. Martinez converted to tie it at 7. Back came Davila and the Rattlers. 15-yard touchdown pass completed to Rod Windsor. The conversion by Lindholm was good. We have not had a missed PAT yet in this game by either kicker. The ensuing kickoff went to Rodney Wright, and he took it 57 yards right up the middle, and he scored. Second straight week he's returned a kickoff for a TD, and the Rush tied it at 14-all. That's the last time we've been tied so far. Davila came right back, and he found Reed with his second touchdown reception, an 8-yarder this time, and it was 21-14 Arizona. That's the way the first quarter ended. In the second quarter of play, Davila, after an interception by Virgil Gray of a Luke Drone pass, threw a touchdown pass to a wide open Trandon Harvey. That made it 28-14. The Rush responded. Drone found Reggie Gray for a 12-yard touchdown pass, cut it to 28-21. And Davila answered quickly, a 7-yarder on 4th and goal from the Rush 7, and he found a wide open Jared Perry, and the former Rush wide receiver gathered it in, and 35-21 the score, which is where we are right now at halftime. Rush drove the ball up the field. It looked like they were going to get a last-second touchdown before halftime. They got the ball to the 1. It was downed intentionally at the 1 to try to run clock or force timeouts. But it did not work to the Rush's advantage. They ended up with a third and goal with a chance to run some time off the clock, and Arizona was out of timeouts. But Luke Drone's pass was blocked back in his face, leaving them with a 4th down. And that pass was out of the reach of Reggie Gray. It hit the backboard, and that was it. The ball went over to the Rattlers, and the Rush were able to stop them. And again, helped out by the fact that Davila slipped and fell and stumbled all the way back to about his own 18-yard line. And they were out of timeout, so the clock just kept on ticking. And it did run out before they could get a play away. See Jared Perry chatting with a couple of Rush fans on the far side. Fans who used to root for him, now rooting against him, but he's a good guy, and I know he made a lot of friends while he was here in Chicago. The Rush still have not come out. They are still in the locker room talking to Coach McMillan and company, but the Rattlers are already back out on the field. We are not scheduled to go for another 4 minutes or so here. One week from yesterday, this coming Saturday night, 6:50, Bob McMillan pregame chat here on Arena Rush Radio, and the Rush will play the New Orleans Voodoo at the Superdome. And then we'll be in Florida in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from last night. Saturday, June 1st, a 6:30 kickoff Chicago time, 6:20 pregame chat with Coach Bob McMillan. The Rush will face the Orlando Predators. So we got 2 straight road games coming up, and we're heading south for both of them. On the road, the Rush have really done well this year, winning at San Antonio, at Utah, and at Iowa, and then losing that heartbreaker at Cleveland last week. At home here, they've lost to Iowa and Spokane, defeated Pittsburgh, and then had that rough outing with Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago. Rush now reappearing in the tunnel off to our left, which is the West Tunnel here at Allstate Arena. And out they come. The return of Luke Drone, a quarterback. Former ISU Redbird. And he has tossed 2 touchdown passes to big play Reggie Gray. The other Rush touchdown was on Rodney Wright's 57-yard electrifying return for a score. The 5 touchdowns for the Arizona Rattlers have all been Nick Davila TD passes. 2 have gone to Kerry Reed, 1 to Jared Perry. He also completed one to Rod Windsor. And one to Trandon Harvey. So he's been able to spread it out. Perry, Gray, Reed, Windsor. 4 different receivers have caught touchdown passes for Arizona. Reed has caught 2 of them. Rush do have the option, and they will receive the second half kickoff. So far, those rebound brackets have not been a factor in this game. They certainly have been in the Iowa, Spokane, Cleveland, and Philadelphia games this season. Balls that have hit those brackets were recovered by the opposition. 1 for an easy touchdown in the Philadelphia game. And the Rush have not recovered 1 yet this season, even though Jose Martinez has hit the brackets a couple of times, but they haven't been able to get down there to recover them. So the referee, the veteran referee Tom McCabe, has blown his whistle. And I think players are going to start lining up and get ready for the second half kickoff here at Allstate Arena. And it goes without saying this opening possession will be key for a couple of reasons. 1, they want to get some momentum. 2, get back to within 1 possession. Arizona's got 2 stops. The Rush, they got 1 at the end of that first half. Time ran out. And ready to return this opening kickoff in the second half will be Rodney Wright. Standing up shallow will be Jorah Calvin. Rush even tried an onside kick and it didn't work. It was batted into the seats by Kerry Reed, and Arizona was able to take over at the Rush 15. And they converted it into a score. On 4th down, Davila to Jared Perry. So Lindholm has it teed up. Rodney Wright awaits, and here's the kickoff. It's high, deep. It is off the rebound net and taken by Wright. And out he comes, breaks tackle, but he's trying to break a second and a third, spins, and he's brought down at about the 9-yard line. It's very, very close to being little spin move there. He was almost brought down at the 5, but he got out and got it to the 10. So it is right there that the Rush will start out 1st and 10. And Luke Drone will have J.J. Payne continuing as his setback. Sends Jenkins to the left, Wright wide to the right side, and Reggie Gray, high motion man, and he's on the left side on 1st and 10. Backing up now, here's a little pass out in the middle over the head of Wright. That was a rocket that was over his head and right through his hands. He had no chance on that one. It'll be 2nd and 10. I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with the velocity that Luke Drone has. Goes over to get the play call and comes back into the huddle. Huddle is broken. Wide to the right again is Rodney Wright. Off on the left side is Jared Jenkins. In motion, Reggie Gray, high motion man. A little pass up the middle. He's got Jenkins wide open across the 20. 1st down across midfield and into Arizona territory. They found a little seam that time, and Jared Jenkins made the reception and plowed across midfield. And so the Rush will have a fresh set of downs, and they're into Rattler territory at the 24-yard line of Arizona. Just a minute 40 into the second half. The Rattlers lead at 35-21. Arizona comes in 7-1. The Rush 4-4. Wright goes left side. Jenkins right. Reggie Gray high motion man. Payne remains a setback. Backing up Drone. Stepping up. He's looking deep. He's looking for his man. And it is caught by Wright. Touchdown Rush. He managed to make a fingertip grab. And there's a 24-yard touchdown pass from Drone to Rodney Wright. And once again, the Rush within a touchdown. Jose Martinez will try PAT attempt. Can have them back to within 35-28. Now they've been able to score on this team a bit. Good snap, place down, kick up, right down Manheim Road. It is 35-28 Arizona. 12:07 left to go here in the third quarter. A lot of time left in this one. But a very explosive Arizona Rattler offense. The defending champs, and right now appearing to be the best team in this league up to now. Certainly record-wise, there's no arguing there. We're going to see them again in Phoenix, second to last game of the year on July 19th at U.S. Airways Center. Again, the next two home games are both going to be in Rockford on June 8th and June 15th. Both will be Saturday nights. Both will be 7 o'clock games. The Utah Blaze on Saturday, June 8th. The San Antonio Talons on Saturday, June 15th. These are both rematch games, games in which the Rush will be facing opponents they have already defeated on the road. Teams that they got beat by a year ago. Actually, San Antonio swept the season series, winning a couple of close games from the Rush last year, including an overtime game down in the Alamo Dome. But this year, the Rush beat them 48-41 in San Antonio. Utah gave the Rush their worst defeat in team history. This team's been around since 2001. But this time, they returned the favor, defeating Utah 59-56 at the buzzer with no time left on a Martinez field goal. All right, Windsor is deep, and here's the kickoff by Martinez. High, heading toward the left rebound. It hits the rebound bracket, but it hit the sideboard. He hit the rebound bracket, and the Rush had a few players down that way, but as it usually does, no help from those brackets. It hit the sideboard, so it will automatically be a dead ball, and Arizona will take over at their own 5. That was a perfectly aimed kickoff, but it took a bad bounce the wrong way instead of coming up the middle. J.J. Payne was down there too, and he had a shot at it, but it hit the Russell Athletics sign on the far board. Davila on first down. Straight back he goes into his own end zone. Looking deep. He's looking for Windsor, way over his head. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by the Rush's Josh Pleasant. That pass was overtossed. It'll be 2nd and 10, Arizona. In their home, white shirts, white pants, dark blue numerals, light blue shoulders, the white helmets. The Rush in their home, dark blue shirts, the white pants, and the red stripes down the sides of the pants. Davila back on 2nd down, back in the end zone, stops, throws over the middle, and it is incomplete. Tried to get that pass through to Odie Armstrong, or make that Tredon Harvey, and it was in and out of his hands. Couldn't control it, and so it'll be 3rd down. Harvey was open, but that pass was not right on the money. So 2 that were not exactly on the mark. But we all know this guy Davila, he is capable of finding his mark very quickly. It is going to be 3rd and 10, crowd making some noise. Backing up Davila, looking, throwing over the middle, and incomplete! He tried to complete it to Kerry Reed, and he couldn't grab it. It's 4th and 10. Most teams in arena football go for it, and this team, they have so much confidence, they're going to go for it. They have confidence, number one, that Davila can complete a first down pass, and two, that even if he doesn't, and the Rush get field position, they're not worried about it. Wide to the left goes Windsor. Here we go on fourth down, backing up Davila in the end zone. Stops, throwing over the middle, and it's complete inside the 20, 15, and slammed into the boards is Rod Windsor. That's what I'm talking about. They're so confident in Davila that he's going to find a receiver, and he found one on a crossing pattern, and Rod Windsor not only caught it, but he ran after the catch and got the ball all the way down to the 12-yard line of the Rush. That is a 33-yard pass completion. It is 1st and 10, Arizona at the Rush 12. Windsor now comes to the left. Harvey in the slot, pass to Windsor, and he is clammed into the sideboard close to the 10-yard line. Pickup of maybe 2. And that's exactly what it is, because the ball is spotted squarely on the 10-yard line. Windsor remains one of the setbacks along one of the receivers with Reed. Armstrong, the running back. And the third receiver is indeed Kerry Reed. Boy, they almost jumped. Here's a pass. Batted up in the air, and it's almost intercepted by Kelvin Morris, and Harvey batted away, and now we have a late flag dropped here. Harvey knocked it away, preventing an interception. But let's see what this late flag is about here. That pass was tipped in the air, and Kelvin Morris would have had the pick, but it was batted to the ground away from him. And Bob McMillan is convinced this is going to be a penalty on Arizona. A personal foul is called here on the Rattlers, and the ball's moved all the way back out to the 20-yard line. Kelvin Morris now is shook up on the play, and he's going to go out because he was cheap-shotted after he tried to get that interception, was knocked to the ground. And coming in for him is going to be Koob. He's wearing Vic Hall's uniform, number 4. Vic is still on injured reserve this week. And so it is going to be a 3rd down for the Rattlers at the Rush 20. They can get a first down if they get to the 2. It'll be 3rd and 19. And hopefully Kelvin is all right. He's on the bench being attended to. It's a key two-way player that they cannot afford to lose. Harvey is going to be the high motion man. Windsor is to the right. On 3rd and 19. Backing up now, Davila. Steps up, throwing into the end zone. He's got Windsor touchdown. Windsor was able to get past Samaj Moody, made the catch, touchdown Arizona. That's what they do. They're pushed all the way back 3rd and 19, and they say, so what? We're going to throw it in the end zone on a 3rd and long and beat you anyway, and that's exactly what happened. 2 key receptions by Windsor on the drive. One on a 4th down, and here on a 3rd and long for the touchdown. Windsor's 2nd TD of the game, the 6th touchdown pass by Davila. And once again, they're going to be up by 2 scores here. Lindholm waiting to try the PAT. Good snap, kick on its way, right down the middle. 7 minutes, 31 seconds to go. The Rush have come close to stopping them, but Davila will just come right back, and he is lethal. 42-28 Arizona. The Rush will await the Lindholm kickoff. Momentarily, you are tuned to Arena Rush Online Radio. So we'll await the kickoff right now. Kind of a little relay race down there on the field. Once again, Tickets for the two games in Rockford on June 8th and June 15th with Utah and San Antonio are available at Ticketmaster. That's the best place to pick them up right now. And I'm pretty sure you can pick them up at the BMO Harris Center box office in Rockford as well. And I know that the Cleveland game back here at Allstate Arena July 13th. Tickets available here at Allstate Arena, also through Ticketmaster. And as usual, you can pick up Rush tickets through arenarush.com. 7 minutes and 31 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. It's been an uphill climb throughout. They've managed to tie the game at both 7 and 14. But Arizona's gotten a touchdown every time they've had the ball, except when they got it with just a few seconds left in the first half. And that caused them to run out of time. All right. Here's the kickoff. It's high and deep by Lindholm. Reggie Gray will field it at the back of the end zone. Out he comes, and there's going to be a clipping call. He's at the 15, the 20, and brought down. Now, that was kind of a cheapie call by they made very little contact back there, but the referee, McCabe, now we got players all over the place pushing and shoving after the play was dead. A clip was already called on the rush, and a kind of a cheapie at that. Then we had pushing and shoving after the play was dead at about the 15-yard line. See what McCabe calls here. He's the one that threw the flag on that clip, and it was a real cheapie. Anyway, you look at it, the Rush look like they're going to start out inside the 5-yard line, maybe close to the 2. Personal foul. Illegal block in the back. So both penalties are against the Rush, not only the illegal block in the back. And that was, he hardly touched him. They're moving the ball all the way back to the 1-yard line. So the Rush are going to have the most awful field position possible. It's at the 1. Actually, it could be worse than that. It could be half the distance and then spotted at the 1-foot line, I guess. So wide to the left will be Jenkins. To the right will be Jared Wright. Reggie Gray slot to the left. J.J. Payne the only setback. Here's the pitch out, and Wright fumbles the football. It goes off the sideboard. Arizona recovers it. It hit the sideboard. Nobody fell on it. And it's a live ball when it hits the sideboard in a play like that, and the Rattlers have it. And they're going to have a first and goal at about the 1-yard line. And they knew they had possession of the football. It was recovered by Virgil Gray. He had the interception in the first half, and here he's got the fumble recovery. That pitch out to Wright, he could not control it. He fumbled it forward. I don't know if he was starting to run before he had his hands on the ball, but it was a lateral, so it was clearly not an incomplete pass, and Arizona has a chance to really put a chokehold on this one. They lead by 14, and they've got the ball first and goal at the Rush 1. Davila has Armstrong behind him, gives it to Armstrong, and he plows forward, touchdown Arizona. Armstrong, a 1-yard run. So the PAT, and now it's going to be a 21-point game. 48-28 at the moment. Well, it was bad enough. I mean, they got called for the personal foul after that previous play was done on the kickoff and got called for the illegal block in the back. And it put the ball at the 1. But then when you turn it over like that, and that was an unforced turnover. Wright never really had possession, and nobody hit him. Lindholm awaits. Perfect snap. And the kick is right through. 5:51 left to go in this third quarter. The Rush scored on the opening possession of this quarter, but Arizona has answered with 2 scores of their own, and they now have hiked their lead up here to 49-28. The kickoff coming up shortly here on Arena Rush Radio online. Well, it's a shame. The Rush have shown they can score on this team. But they've made a couple of mistakes. The Rattlers have not. And it's one of the difference between a team that is 7-1 and one that's 4-4 and one that is 1-3 at home. And if they can overcome a 21-point deficit against the best team in the league, they're going to be 1-4 at home this year. 2 road games coming up, though, at New Orleans and at Orlando, against a couple of teams with losing records. So Wright will be back there for this kickoff return try. Back there with him is Jorah Calvin. Boy, that ball that hit the rebound nets and they couldn't recover it because it went out. Here's the kickoff by Lindholm, and all the way back to the end zone to take it is Wright, and he comes out across the 5, crashes to the 10 and maybe the 11-yard line, and there was a late shove put in that time by Kelvin Morris, and a late flag is finally thrown. That was a real late flag. Kelvin Morris went, and that almost looked like a Nazi Mohammed shove on LeBron James. And Kelvin heads off. Looks pretty frustrated. And the penalty is going to be called on Kelvin. It's going to take it half the distance back to the 5. So they've now lost their cool, and they picked up a couple of bad penalties here on the last kickoff returns. One caused them to start at the 1-yard line, and another is going to cause them to start here at the 5. And right now, Kelvin Morris is over by the Arizona bench, and a couple of Rush players and Arizona players are exchanging words on the far side there. Campbell involved in a discussion right now with Cornelius Dixon. Here's a long pass out on the side. It's taken by Jenkins, and he got out to the 13. Jorah Calvin of the Rush also in on some discussions over there, along with Cornelius Dixon. There's a little acrimony going on between the Rush and the Rattlers benches at the moment. 2nd and about 1 for the Rush. That was a 9-yard pickup. Jenkins is now to the right. Reggie Gray, high motion man. Drone hands it off on the delay, and Payne will pick up the first down out to about the 18-yard line. Brought down by Hawthorne. It's been all over the field. Knocked down a couple passes, had some tackles. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Rush at their own 18. 4:20 and ticking 3rd quarter here at Allstate Arena. High motion man this time is going to be Reggie Gray. Drone straight back. Stops, fires over the middle, incomplete. He was trying to get it up to Jenkins, and that was kind of thrown in the middle of Riley Swanson, the Arizona defensive back, and Jenkins. And so it will be a 2nd and 10 situation from the 18. And Luke has been on target a lot tonight, and he's been off target about half the time. Just trying to get himself back into game fitness here. Jenkins goes to the left. Wright will be slotted to the left with Gray, high motion man on the left side. Drone directing some traffic as he awaits the snap, has it. Back he goes, steps up, fires, completes it for a first down to Reggie Gray near the 20-yard line of Arizona. Virgil Gray made the hit on him. And so it's exactly on the 20-yard line, and the chains moved. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Rush. Arizona, a 21-point lead, 49-28. They've only been stopped on offense once today, and that was by the clock at the end of the first half. Otherwise, they've gotten a touchdown every time, all 7 times. Backing up now is Drone throwing into the end zone for Gray. That's pass interference. He was shoved from behind by Virgil Gray, and the pass interference was called. That saved the touchdown. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. And the ball be moved down to the 10-yard line. Half the distance to the goal or 10 yards. Take your pick. It's the same difference. Reggie had him beat, and Gray just bumped him aside, threw a little body check into him. So it's first and goal squarely on the 10-yard line of the Rattlers. Jenkins goes wide right. And also near him on the right side is Wright, standing right behind him, high motion man Reggie Gray. Backing up Drone, firing into the end zone. Touchdown rush to Wright. Wright was wide open that time. He got behind Brown. And so the Rush have their second touchdown of the third quarter. Ran a beautiful pattern that time. So Wright now has scored 3 touchdowns today, 2 on pass receptions, 1 on a kickoff return. Drone will hold here for Jose Martinez. Good snap, placed down. Kick is right through. Kicking has been terrific by both sides here this afternoon. Now there's a late flag on the play. There's a penalty against Arizona. They were offside, and so the PAT is good. Score now, Arizona 49, the Rush 35, and the Martinez kickoff coming up shortly with 1:39 left here in the third quarter. Still a lot of time to go. Remember, this is arena football. And so the kickoff coming up shortly here on Rush Online Radio. Again, we'll be with you next week, this coming Saturday night from New Orleans, Louisiana, from the Superdome. The Rush and the Voodoo will go at it at the Superdome. And Martinez, who put one off the rebound brackets last time, it took a unlucky bounce and it hit the sideboard. And once it hit the sideboard, that was it. It's a dead ball. I've been lobbying for them to change that rule. If a ball hits the rebound bracket and hits the sideboard, it should still be in play. If a fumble hits the sideboard like the one by Wright a little bit ago that gave up a cheap touchdown to the Rattlers, that's a live ball. Harvey is the deep man now for the Rattlers. Here's the kickoff deep, and it's off the rebound. Then Harvey will bring it out easily. He is across the 1, breaks a tackle, crosses the 10, and got to the 14-yard line. They're going to give him the 15. Now, does 1 yard really make that big of a difference for Davila at that point of the field? He clearly went down, both of his knees down and the body down to 14, but he got an extra yard out of it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rattlers right there. 2 near interceptions. Nearly had a pick 6 earlier in the game by Jorick Calvin. And then Kelvin Morris nearly had one before, but he had the ball knocked away. Backing up Davila. Steps up. He's under pressure, and he's sacked. First sack of the game. He was clobbered all the way back at the 12-yard line. This is one time Davila could not get rid of it. They'll put it at the 13. That'll be a loss of 7. Making it 2nd and, of course, 17. Half a minute and ticking for the third quarter. And this time, wide to the left will be Windsor. Jared Perry is in the slot to the left. Backing up now, Davila throws, completes it to Windsor. turns the corner, and he's slammed into the sideboard there. Josh Pleasant. But they still pick up some positive yardage out to the 18-yard line. And it will leave the Rattlers with a 3rd and 7, and that's the end of the third quarter here at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. And our score at the end of 3, the Arizona Rattlers 49, the Chicago Rush 35. We have fourth quarter action coming your way shortly here on Arena Rush Online Radio. Right now the Rush Adrenaline Dancers performing. And there are terrific dance troops in arena football, as we've been discussing. And I don't think anybody is any better than the Rush Adrenaline Dancers. I know Arizona has a very good troupe as well. We will see them on July 19th out in the Valley of the Sun. We got 2 trips out there 2 years ago. The Rush won a thriller with a couple of seconds left on a field goal by Chris Gold after a successful onside kick recovery. And then it went right to the wire in the National Conference Championship game about a month and a half later. And the Rush had an onside kick that they recovered in the end zone, but it was ruled a dead ball because it hit that side wall. And again, if it's a play from scrimmage, balls can be in play off that side wall if it's a live ball. But kicks, nope, they're ruled dead ball. Football hits the rebound bracket, caroms out, and then goes to the sideboard. It's considered dead issue. So what are they going to try to do here on third? Two drives ago, I should say, and then they completed a 19-yard touchdown pass to Windsor on that play when the Rush had a chance to get a stop. All right, Davila breaks his huddle. Reed goes to the left. Wide to the right is Windsor, and Perry is in the slot to the right. Now on third down, Davila back, stops, throws over the middle. It's complete to Windsor, inside the 15 to the 10 to the 5 touchdown. Windsor took that crossing pattern pass, and he broke through everybody. And that is a 32-yard touchdown reception. They have had trouble with him all afternoon. Kind of like every team in the league has had trouble with him. So Windsor has now caught 3 touchdown passes today from Davila. He really spreads the wealth. PAT attempt with Marietta to hold. Place down. And the kick by Lindholm is good. We're just 50 seconds into the fourth quarter, and whenever they need a big play, whether it's third down, fourth down, whatever, Davila and company seem to be able to come up with them. It's now Arizona 56 and the Rush 35. So the Lindholm kickoff coming up shortly here on Arena Rush Online Radio. Davila now with 8 touchdown passes in this game. 3 to Windsor, 2 to Reed, 1 to Harvey, 1 to Perry. Actually, he's got 7 touchdown passes. They have 1 touchdown on the ground. That was the 1-yard run for the running back, O.D. Armstrong. Kind of weird seeing them score a rushing TD, but that's what they did. Reggie Gray standing deep in his end zone. Jorah Calvin is the shallow man. And once again, it's a 21-point Arizona lead. Lindholm gets the approach going, sends it high and deep toward the left rebound net. And Reggie Gray comes out with it. He's to the 5. Up the middle he goes, and the hole closes at the 19-yard line. Trandon Harvey made the tackle for the Rattlers. Harvey has one of the touchdown passes today, too, a 27-yarder. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Rush at their own 14. Well, all you can do is try to do something on this drive here and then take your chances after that. It's a 21-point Arizona lead. Huddle to be broken. Jenkins goes to the right. Gray is high motion man on the left side. Wright is in the slot to the right. Backing up now Davila. Straight back, steps up. He's looking deep. He's got Reggie Gray wide open. He's got it. Touchdown Rush. That didn't take long. 36 yards from drone to big play Reggie Gray. And he had everybody beat on that play. Jeremy Kellum was beaten big time on that one. That's like I said earlier, the Rushes show they can score on these guys. They just haven't been able to stop them. Martinez will try to get this back down to 14 points. High snap placed down by Drone. Kick by Martinez. Perfect. Well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. 12:34 left to go in this fourth quarter. And the Rush have to make something happen on special teams and or defenses. It's 56-42 Arizona. The kickoff coming up shortly here on Rush Online Radio. Reggie Gray today now has scored 3 touchdowns, one from 36, one from 12, and one from 30. Outran everybody there. So, let's see what they got up their sleeve of everything. Right now, Davila, as good as advertised, as good as we remember him these last couple of years. Again, no action in arena football today other than this one. The only action, all the other games, there was one game Friday night and the rest were yesterday. A week from this coming Saturday night, 2 weeks from last night, the Rush are in New Orleans. 6:50, our pregame chat with Coach Bob McMillan. And then on Saturday night, June 1st, we're in Orlando. 6:20, the pregame for that. Here's the run-up now. And the kickoff by Martinez. It's high, but not that deep. It goes right underneath the crossbar and out of play. There'll be no return, and it will be a touchback. So the Rattlers will start out at their own 5-yard line. I don't know if he was trying to hit the crossbar, but it went right under the crossbar and out of play. Windsor had no chance of fielding that and trying anything. So here comes Davila and company again. Huddle broken. Wide to the left goes Trandon Harvey. Windsor is the high motion man. Boy, he was way offside there. And they called a time. Well, there's a flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. Let's see if Arizona gets a timeout. Nope, they don't. That's a false start. And Windsor was like about 10 yards over the line of scrimmage. So it's half the distance to the goal, and it's put back just outside the 2-yard line. That's not really half the distance. That's 3 yards. Now Windsor comes in motion, backing up Davila, throws to Windsor. He turns the corner a little bit, got out to about the 8-yard line. Jorah Calvin brought him down as Windsor tried to break away from him. Windsor's a tough guy. He's got incredible speed, but he's also huge at 6'2", 220. Jorah Calvin is 190, 30 pounds less, and he's 3 inches shorter at 5'11". Jorah Calvin's a terrific DB. Windsor's to the left. Jared Perry is in motion. Davila back under pressure, throws. Oh, he completes it, and Harvey got a first down all the way out to the 19-yard line. They had pressure coming in on Davila that time, but he got rid of the ball, and Harvey grabbed it, and he's got a first down at his own 19-yard line. They were able to sack Davila once today. Another time he slipped and fell, went down, and technically that was a sack too as he was touched down. So statistically he's been sacked twice, but realistically just once. Davila back again, flag on the play. They might have been offside. Long pass wide open. Touchdown. Nobody was anywhere near Jared Perry, but let's see if it's going to hold up or not. This one apparently is going to get called back. Offensive offside is called against the Rattlers. So that touchdown pass to Jared Perry is nullified. And it'll be pushed back 10 yards. They're over the bonus situation, so the ball is all the way back to the 9-yard line. It's now going to be a 1st and 19. That was only a 9-yard penalty. Probably because it was half the distance to the goal, that's why. Ball was on the 18, it's at the 9. On first down, Davila back again. Steps up, stops, throwing deep, looking for Windsor, and that has no chance. It's way over his head. Pleasant with good coverage on him that time. Running shoulder to shoulder with Rod Windsor. Clock continuing to tick, though. Only 10:20 left. The Rush down by 14, 56-42. What they need here is a pick or a fumble. And Davila has thrown 2 balls that could have been intercepted. Neither was. Calvin would have had a pick 6, and it was just in and out of his hands. And then there was another pass that was tipped in the air, and Kelvin Morris would have picked it, but it got batted to the ground. Oh, there was a false start against Arizona again. Cornelius Dixon came out of his stance, and that'll move him back 5 more yards. Almost. It'll go from the 9 to the 4.5. So that's half the distance. Well, they moved it to the 4. From a Rush standpoint, that's a generous spot. Now it is going to be 2nd and 24 for Arizona at their own 4-yard line. Reed is to the right. Perry in motion. Here's the long pass for Perry behind him. Incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and very long yardage for the Rattlers with 9:30 and ticking on the clock. So it will be a big, 3rd and 4th down both would be big. But you're not at 4th down yet. You're at 3rd. And this is a guy who can just throw a bomb all the way downfield and put it right on the money. He's got some great receivers. Windsor is to the right. High motion man is Perry. Backing up Davila. Looking, throwing deep. And it is almost intercepted again by Jared Calvin. He jumped in front of Jared Perry, again, his ex-teammate. And he had it come loose when he hit the ground. It's going to be 4th down and very, very long yardage for the Rattlers. 4th and 19 at their own 4. If they were closer to midfield, they'd go for it, but they're going to kick it away here. Lindholm is on to try what's going to be a 61-yard field goal try. Reggie Gray is deep for the Rush. The place down, and here's the kick. It's headed toward the side, and Reggie's got it in the end zone, and out he comes to the 5, looking for a block. He gets it to the 10, goes to the right side, and slammed into the far board and around the 17-yard line. 7:56 to go. They have a chance to get to within one after finally getting a stop and forcing a field goal that had no chance. It was tantamount to a punt, but of course, we all know there's no punts in arena football. So the Rush will start out at their own 18-yard line. Clock never stopped, even though it was supposed to. They lost a little time off that clock. But 7:25. Let's see what Luke Drone and company can do here. Payne is the setback. Jenkins to left, high motion man Reggie Gray. Backing up Drone, stops, looking over the middle. Now he'll flip it forward. It was a dangerous pass that ends up incomplete, trying to get it to Rodney Wright. And it hit the ground. That could have easily been picked off as well. Virgil Gray was in the area. He just kind of flung it forward, almost half sidearm, half underhand. It is going to be 2nd and 10 Rush at their own 18. Jenkins to the left, high motion man Gray. Wright is way wide to the right side. Backing up now, Drone stops, firing, batted in his face for the 3rd time today and knocked down. Both Antron Dixon and Trey Glassbar were there. Glassbar is 6'3", Dillon is 6'5". It will be 3rd and 10. They got to stop. Now they're going to try to take advantage of it here, but had 2 incompleted passes to start this series. Wright comes off to the left side, Jenkins to the right, and Reggie, high motion man, is off on the left side. Backing up Luke Drone. He may be going deep. He's looking for Reggie. He's got him open. Touchdown Rush! Oh, did he get smashed into the boards that time by Virgil Gray, but Reggie Gray caught it. Touchdown Rush! A 32-yarder, and they're back to within 1 possession. Boy, he got smashed into the sideboard by his namesake, Virgil Gray, and held on to the ball. And now the PAT attempt coming up by Jose Martinez. High snap, but it's down. The kick is through. 5:16 to play in the game. And it is now Arizona 56 and the Chicago Rush 49. Don't go anywhere. We've got ourselves lots of action to go here. It looked like Arizona was going to run away from it when they got out by 21 points here. But the Rush were able to battle back, and Drone has thrown 2 touchdown passes to Reggie Gray, 36 and 32 yards. And they even, in between the 2, got a stop. Boy, if they only would have taken that touchdown at the end of the 2nd quarter, we'd be tied now. Hypothetically. Now, did they kick it off and just see what they can do defensively? Or try another onside kick? They are expecting a possible onside kick. Nobody is deep except Virgil Gray for Arizona. Everybody else, the other 7, are all between the 10 and 15-yard line. All right. Ready to kick off now will be Martinez. He'll kick it deep, high, left rebound. It hits the bracket. It's a free ball. It's loose. It's going to be Rush ball. First time this season they got possession. It was recovered by Josh Pleasant. That ball hit the bracket. It hit out of there and it bounced all the way out to the 17-yard line, and Josh Pleasant recovered. We have an injured Rattler down on the field there. It's Arkeith Brown. He's getting himself up. Jose Martinez has come so close, and now finally they get one of those bounces. It hit the bracket and it went out of there like a bullet, straight out, and there wasn't a Rattler near the ball. And so the Rush now are 17 yards away from perhaps tying this game up. With 5:07 to play in the game. Huddle broken. Wide to the right is Jenkins. Reggie Gray, who is torching these guys, is in motion. Backing up Drome. Stops. Throws. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Reggie was interfered with by Virgil Gray. Pass interference, Arizona. That'll move the ball 10 yards. It'll be first and goal to go Rush at the 8-yard line of the Rattlers. Arizona is 7-1. They have only one loss. It was on the road, and that was at Spokane. Rush have never led in this one. They've been tied at 7-14, but then fell behind by as many as 21. Wide to the right is Jenkins. Reggie Gray is in the slot to the right. High motion man is right. Backing up Drone. Stopping, throwing into the end zone, trying to get it to right. It was off his fingertips. Pretty good defensive coverage that time by Jeremy Kellum out of Middle Tennessee State. Played in the Ohio Valley. That will make it second and goal to go with 4:10 left to go in regulation. Arizona 56, the Rush 49. Now the huddle broken and the play clock is down to 12. Wright is in the slot to the right with Jenkins wide and Reggie the high motion man. Drone back, throws a little screen pass to Wright, and that's not going to go anywhere. He is brought down after a pickup of about a yard. Tried to catch him napping, but Virgil Gray made the tackle. It will be third and goal to go at the 8-yard line. A pickup of about 1 on that play. And we're down to 3:25 left. When these same two teams meet second to last game of the season on July 19th in Phoenix. As warm as it is outside here, it'll be a lot hotter when we get into the Valley of the Sun. Book that. Here we go, third and goal from the 8-yard line. Drone back, stops, steps up, lobbying, and it's incomplete off the hands of Jenkins. He would have been able to fall backwards and would have had a touchdown. Coverage on the play by Kerry Reed, who has been a two-way player. They're going for it. They're not going to try a field goal here. 2:40 left, and it's a 7-point lead. They need to score here to get to within 1. Both teams have all their timeouts left, and the Rush may be using one here. They're not coming out. The play clock's already down to 10. Timeout is going to be called here by the Rush. 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go. I hope that that doesn't haunt them later in the last seconds here. But we're down to 2:21 for the game. 56-49 Arizona. And the Rush are going to have a fourth and goal to go at the Rattlers' 8-yard line. Well, they're playing scream and shout. I think that's what the crowd would like to do after this next play. Luke Jones still talking things over on the bench with offensive coordinator Burley. And now they start the play clock. Critical fourth down play here, and that's the understatement of the afternoon. Now the huddle broken. It's down to 10 on the play clock. They head up to the line. High motion man Reggie Gray. 5 on the play clock. Reggie in motion. Backing up Drone. Steps up. Throwing into the end zone, and that's got to be interference. It is. Again, Virgil Gray interfered with Reggie. He was all over him. That's going to move it half the distance to the goal line, and it'll be first and goal to go Rush a fresh set of downs. Wow. That pass had no chance of being completed either. It was high, but Reggie was interfered with. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It was at the back of the end zone. He might have had an opportunity, but the reason he couldn't get to that ball is because he was held onto and shoved. Now, Reggie is off the field here on 1st and goal to go. Let's see, did Kelvin Morris come on? Yes, he did. Kelvin Morris is in the slot to the left. Payne is the setback. Now Morris comes in motion, and he falls down. Here's a long pass of the end zone and out of the end zone intended for Jenkins at the back of the end zone. And Luke Drone is saying, hey, wait a minute. Wasn't there interference there? But no flags. Kelvin fell down. And I don't know if he was the man that was going to get his hands on the football anyway. Clock is continuing to tick down to minute 25, now 21 on the play clock. Reggie Gray is back with Jenkins and Wright. Reggie will be high motion man. J.J. Payne remains the lone setback here. 2nd and goal to go. Backing up Drone. Stops, lobs into the end zone over everybody's head as Reggie Gray again went down. I think he slipped that time. And Virgil Gray was the closest to that one. So we've had 2 plays in a row here that have been busters. We're down to the 1-minute notification. 1 minute left in the 4th quarter. And we're using the 1-minute timing now for the rest of this quarter and regulation play. They have 2 plays to get into the end zone here and move 3 yards. They were running out on the field to throw footballs into the stands, but referee McCabe saying, no, this is going to be a short timeout. At least it's supposed to be. But both teams are huddled up in front of their coaches. The rush in front of their bench. The Rattlers, opposite side of their bench, down below us here, but their defensive coordinator, Omar Smith, is talking to his players. Now they're going to do a switch over. Arkeith Brown in to replace Riley Swanson as a DB spot for Arizona. With the exception of last year's game, which got away from the rush in the second half, the last really 3 or 4 times they played Arizona, these have been games that have gone to the wire, including both games 2 years ago at U.S. Airways Center. All right, Reggie Gray, high motion man. Payne the setback. Jenkins wide to the left, Wright is in the slot. Drone gets a step. Pitches back, it's a free football, and it's recovered near midfield all the way back there by Wright. There was a pitch out, and it backfired. There was nobody there, and fortunately, Wright was able to get back and recover it. Now it's 4th and goal at the midfield stripe. What are they going to do here? Timeout is going to be called here, probably by the rush. Oh, my goodness. No timeout, Arizona. The Rattlers have taken the timeout. Well, that was an aborted play, to put it mildly. They tried a little trickery, but that pitch out was way, way, way beyond the line. It went past the 10 and went bounding out to midfield. And that could have been an even bigger disaster. Arizona could have recovered it. And that wouldn't have definitely ended the game, but it could have made it close to over. So now they can either try a Hail Mary here or a field goal, and they're going for it. And I think Arizona knows Reggie Gray is going to be a key man here. Of course, having this much more room to work with could work in their favor. You never know. Gray and Wright are both to the right. Jenkins will be the high motion man. 4th and goal at midfield. Drone straight back. looking over the middle, throws to Reggie. He's got it inside the 10. He's going to get stopped at the 6-yard line. The ball goes over to Arizona. They threw it short of the goal line. Reggie caught it. He couldn't break away, and with 32 seconds left, the Rattlers have a chance to run it out here. The Rush have 2 timeouts left. They had an opportunity there. Couldn't get it in. 56-49 is the score. The Rattlers lead. Now the huddle's broken. Reed goes to the left, wide to the right is Windsor, and now they'll get some positive yardage and force the Rush to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And again, that timeout the Rush took earlier on this last possession, they don't have that any longer, and that could have come in handy now. So with 29 seconds left, 1 timeout remaining for the Rush. The Rattlers will try to get more positive yardage, force them to use their last timeout. Then they get positive yardage one time after that. The game's going to be over. All Arizona has to do is get an inch or more on 2 straight handoffs, and there's nothing the Rush can do about it. Play clock has started. Well, this is a hell of a comeback, and they had a chance to tie it a moment ago after that great kickoff off the brackets that they finally recovered. Here's Davila keeping it, moving forward. He's got it. Timeout will be taken here by the Rush, their last, with 26 seconds left. But if the Rattlers can pick up positive yardage on this next play, the clock is going to run out. Well, against the best team in the league, the Rush have played right with them here, and they battled back. They've made some plays. They've shown they can certainly score points against this team. Reggie Gray has caught 4 touchdown passes today. All right, here we go. Keeper, and they got positive yardage. This game is over, folks. It'll tick away. 20 seconds. There's nothing the Rush can do. And your final score this afternoon, a heartbreaker for the 2nd straight week for the Rush, but they gave Arizona all they could hand, and a lot of the fans giving them a good hand. The final score, the Arizona Rattlers 56, the Chicago Rush 49. These same 2 teams are going to meet in Phoenix, the second to last game of the season. That'll be on July 19th. But the Rush now fall to 4-5. Arizona is up to 8-1 on the season. Well, they won the quarter, that's for sure, 14-7. But one play here, one play there, it could have made a difference. But again, Drone threw 4 touchdown passes to Reggie Gray. 3 touchdowns were scored today, 2 touchdown passes to Rodney Wright, and he also returned a kickoff for a touchdown, 57 yards. And they just come up a bit short. A tremendous game for Nick Davila. Windsor was his big man when he needed him. He caught 3 touchdown passes, a lot of clutch receptions as well. The running back Armstrong scored 1 on the ground. Ex-Rush wide receiver Jared Perry he caught a 7-yard touchdown pass. Harvey caught a 27-yarder. And your final tonight, the Arizona Rattlers 56, the Chicago Rush 49. So we will talk to you 6 days from now, 6 nights from now, when the Chicago Rush will face the New Orleans Voodoo at the Superdome in the Big Easy. 6:50 our pregame activity with Coach Bob McMillan. Until this coming Saturday, from Allstate Arena, thanks again to everybody for the big help that we got here. Marty Zivin turning the dials for us at Master Control in Hoffman Estates. And until we talk to you from New Orleans this coming Saturday, have a terrific week, everybody. Final again, Arizona 56, the Rush 49. hell of a comeback, a terrific effort, and a terrific show put on by both teams. Till we talk to you next week, so long, everybody.